this chapter.
And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and thou shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all the brethren. Genesis 16:11 and 12. Have you looked at this verse in light about 4,000 years of history in the Middle East? What's going out there today? Descendants of Ishmael or wild men. That has been the story of those Bedouin tribes in the desert down through the centuries, and it is a fulfillment of the prophecy that God gave. They will tell you that they are sons of Abraham. They are also sons of Ishmael. They are related to Abraham through Ishmael. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me. For she said, I also here looked after him that seeth me. Wherefore the well was called Beer-lahai-roi.
Yes, high low Roy.
Beer-lahai-roi.
Beer la high Roy.
Beer-lahai-roi. Is that right?
Yeah.
Behold, it was between Kadesh and Bered.
Remember we studied that well
Yes.
in precepts upon precepts last time.
Yeah. Genesis 16:13 and 14. Now how gracious God is to Hagar. It is her sin, so God very graciously deals with her. Let me repeat, I believe the angel of the Lord here is none other than the pre-incarnate Christ, gone out to seek the lost again. He's that kind of shepherd, and he brings to her this good word. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me. This is something new to her that she did not realize before. The Egyptians did have a very primitive idea and conception of God. For she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? She's overwhelmed by the fact that she is seen of God. That doesn't seem to be very impressive to us today because we have a higher view of God than that. But wait just a minute. We probably just come as far short of really knowing about God as Hagar did. It's difficult for a little finite man to conceive of the infinite God, and all of us come short of understanding and knowing Him. I think that a theme will engage us through the endless ages of eternity is just coming to know God. That is worthy of any man's study. To come to know God is something that will dignify a man's position throughout eternity. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. Abraham was 60 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abraham. Genesis 16:15 and 16. Remember that Ishmael was Abram's son, and Abram was now 86 years old.
And this section is entitled The Test of Abraham.
Before we go farther, I would like to make a recapitulation of these 7 appearances of God to Abram, 5 of which we've already seen. There were certain failures in the life of Abram, but also there were certain successes. Actually, there were 7 tests which God had given him. Number 1, God called Abram out of Ur of the Chaldees, his home, and Abram responded partially. His faith was weak and imperfect, but at least he moved out. Abram finally arrived safely in the land of Canaan, and God blessed him. Number 2, then there was a famine in the land of Canaan, and Abram fled from the land of Canaan to Egypt. There he acquired riches and Hagar, and both were stumbling blocks. Number 3, Abram was given riches, which are a real test. They've been a stumbling block to many of a man, by the way. Frankly, I have always wished that the Lord would have let me have that kind of test rather than some of the others I've had. Nevertheless, I'm of the opinion that he could not have trusted me with riches. Abram, Jay Burnham liked to spend money, I guess.
No, we was spending on the wrong things.
Right. Abram didn't forget God, and he was certainly generous and magnanimous towards his nephew Lot. Riches resulted in separation from Lot, and God appeared to him again. Number 4, Abram was given power through his defeat of the kings of the east. That was a real test, for when he happened to be the conqueror, this man, Melchizedek, met him, which I think strengthened Abram for the test. So he refused the spoils of the war. Afterward, God appeared to Abram and encouraged him. And number 5, God delayed giving Abram a son by his wife Sarai. Abram became impatient, and through the prompting of Sarai, he took matters in his own hands and moved outside the will of God. As a result, there was the birth of Ishmael. The Arabs of the desert today still plague the nation Israel, and they will keep right on doing that, I think, until the millennium. Abraham's 2 final tests occurred. Number 6, at the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah in chapter 18, and number 7, at the offering of his son Isaac in chapter 22.
All right, and so that concludes J. Vernon McGee's commentary on verses 11 through 16. Now let's look at Chuck Smith's commentary on verses 11 through 16. She made two pretty good ways in the sense peninsula. She made it pretty good ways in the Sinai Peninsula. I can't read my own writing. Bear higher here. Beer Tahiroi.
Yeah.
Is the well of him that loves and hears me, is what it means. We looked this up in precepts upon precepts last time.
I forgot what it meant though.
But it's the one who, the well of him that lives and hears me. And so that's what the Bir Tahoi Roy means. And so with that, that is concludes tonight's reading of God's Word. Hope that you've enjoyed the reading of God's Word. The chapters are short and make it easy. They're not like the New Testament.
Easier for us.
The New Testament, they like to write a lot. They'd write till they went blind.
Yeah.
Abraham didn't want much known about his dad, so he didn't write much about his dad, I guess. Anyway, so that concludes the reading tonight. Hope that you've enjoyed the reading of God's Word. And if I don't see any comments, but then we do encourage you to make comments and to ask questions. In case you wish to remain anonymous, we are a 501c3 company. We are Christ Recovery Ministry at P.O. Box 336, Berea, Kentucky 40403. 859-339-7633 is our number if you wish to opine, name and town, and let us know if you wish to remain anonymous. And we will answer your comments and questions wherever we find them. And then again, on the next Waycast, we will address them in more detail if need be. And so as Katie can't wait to sing for you guys. And so if there's no other further ado, we'll end it the way we always do by saying,
good night until we meet again. Adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen till then. And oh, it's always sweet sorrow to part.
You'll know, you'll always remain in my heart. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Here's a wish and a prayer that every dream comes true. And now till we meet again, adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. Good night, and don't ever forget you are truly loved. And with that, we say good night.
Now from all of our musical family.